This just came in. I was just reading an article in the Wall Street Journal. It says Kyle Rittenhouse found not guilty of all charges in killing of two. The teenager faced charges including intentional and reckless homicide. His attorney said he acted in self-defense. Now keep in mind, I know this topic is controversial, so I'm not taking sides here. I'm just reviewing the Wall Street Journal article on the case, so don't kill the messenger. I'm just reporting what I've read. Okay, after 3.5 days of deliberations, a Wisconsin jury acquitted Kyle Rittenhouse, the teenager charged with killing two people during unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year, ending a highly watched case that turned on whether the teen had acted in self-defense. And if you appreciate this big news story being boiled down into an easy-to-understand package, please click the like button below so YouTube promotes it. Thanks so much. And if you're new here, you can also click the subscribe button so that when more videos come out like this, you'll be up to date right away. Mr. Rittenhouse, now 18 years old, faced charges of intentional, reckless, and attempted homicide and reckless endangerment. The case revolved around the actions the night of August 25th, 2020, as he patrolled the city with a small medical kit and an AR-15 style rifle amid unrest following the police shooting of Jacob Blake. His attorneys argued that he acted in self-defense and entered a not guilty plea. He had been free on $2 million bail, mostly raised by supporters online. Now, the trial took a little over 2 weeks, and Mr. Rittenhouse cried, breathing quickly and shaking while he clutched his chest as the verdict was read. The judge thanked the jury and said they had been wonderful to work with. The judge said the charges were dismissed with prejudice and that he had to be released from his bond. David Hancock, a spokesman for the Rittenhouse family, told Court TV after the verdict, "We are very happy. Justice was absolutely served. Kyle was defending himself against being attacked." He said Mr. Rittenhouse planned to go to the medical field and attempted to bridge the divide in the country. Prosecutors earlier in the week said they wouldn't comment on the verdict. Michael Cicchini, a defense attorney in Kenosha, said he expected either an acquittal or a hung jury. He said the prosecution had been aggressive in presenting the case, but ultimately it was the facts that undermined their stance. "You can only do so much with what you have," he said. "I mean, a man had threatened to kill him and chased him, and another pointed a gun at him, and another struck him with a skateboard." The most dramatic moments of the trial came as Mr. Rittenhouse testified in his own defense, at one point breaking down on the stand. He later said that he feared for his life as Joseph Rosenbaum, the first person he shot and killed, ran toward him and had his hand on the barrel of Mr. Rittenhouse's rifle as Mr. Rittenhouse began firing. "If I had let Mr. Rosenbaum take my firearm from me, he would have used it and killed me with it and probably killed more people." Mr. Rittenhouse testified during a cross-examination by prosecutors. And lawyers who weren't involved in the case said the testimony probably helped his case. The prosecution portrayed Mr. Rittenhouse as an outsider who lied about his status as an EMT and was ill-prepared to render or handle a firearm in a chaotic situation. But even some of its own witnesses bolstered defense arguments that he acted in self-defense when he shot and killed Mr. Rosenbaum, 36, and Anthony Huber, 26, and injured Gage Grosskirch, now 27. Richie McGinnis, a videographer for the online publication Daily Caller, who was called by the prosecution, testified that Mr. Rosenbaum was chasing Mr. Rittenhouse through a parking lot and appeared to lunge for Mr. Rittenhouse's gun in the moments leading up to the shooting. Mr. Grosskirch said in his testimony that he was pointing a handgun toward Mr. Rittenhouse when the then 17-year-old fired at him, causing severe damage to Mr. Grosskirch's arm. The prosecution has always faced an uphill battle in the case under Wisconsin law. The defense must only cite some evidence for self-defense, putting the burden of proof on the prosecutors to negotiate that claim beyond a reasonable doubt. Prosecutors received rebukes from the judge in a motion for mistrial by the defense when they tried to introduce a video of Mr. Rittenhouse saying a few weeks before the riots in Kenosha that he wished he had his gun to shoot some people he thought were shoplifting. The judge ruled that video wasn't relevant to the specific circumstances of the case and had barred its use. The defense and judge also criticized a line of questioning by the prosecution that appeared to impinge Mr. Rittenhouse's right not to testify. The judge said he would consider the motion, but the trial continued. So that's the big news story of the day. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. This is The Business Guy.